Hi, I'm Joe Lennon, assistant professor at the Maastricht University Language Center and a consultant at the Maastricht University Writing Lab. And because I teach academic writing, a lot of people have been asking me recently about AI. What do I think about it? Do I think students should use it or shouldn't use it? When or how do I think students should use it? So here you go. Here's my short answer. I'm going to give you 2 rules of thumb for how to use AI for writing as a university student. So here's the first one. If you use AI, use it to help you, the human who is using it, become a better writer. Don't use it just to produce what you think looks like or what seems like better writing. Okay, to understand this, you have to understand that I believe that anybody can become a better writer. There are relatively simple techniques, forms, concepts that can really help you make huge leaps and breakthroughs in your writing skills. And I'm talking about things that don't take necessarily a huge amount of time. These are things you can learn in a few minutes. Sometimes all it takes is one meaningful writing assignment or a 10-minute conversation with a teacher or friend to make huge breakthroughs to becoming a better writer. If you've never had this kind of breakthrough that I'm talking about, I'm willing to bet that you haven't had that much experience with writing. Or maybe you've only had bad experiences with writing, maybe especially with writing in English. So if you're a university student, now's your chance. You have the opportunity to take some time, to give yourself some time to become a better writer and to overwrite some of those bad experiences that you may have had with writing and replace them with better ones. And it's really worth it to make that effort because the process of writing can be enjoyable, it can be meaningful, and it can help you become a better thinker as well. But you can't know that until you actually try to write something. But that's where AI could be a kind of short circuit. It could be just a way to instantly produce some writing, some product that looks and sounds like better writing than you think you could have accomplished with your human brain, but which isn't really meaningful for you in the ways that it could have been. So an example of using AI just to produce better writing would be asking ChatGPT to draft a paper or school assignment for you. Let's say giving it an abstract prompt like, "Hi, please write a script for a 5-minute video about using AI for university writing. Give 2 rules of thumb for when and how to use AI as a university student," and then just taking what it gives you, using it. And it's going to give you something that's technically perfect, right? Grammatically correct, probably mostly in the right register and tone. So yes, it is better writing than you could have produced in the same amount of time that ChatGPT produced the writing in. That is less than 1 second. But that's not saying much, right? But regardless of whether the writing itself, the final product, is good or not, hopefully you agree with me that just the experience of typing in that prompt, reading and using what it gives you without thinking about it any further, this isn't going to make you a better writer. I do think there are ways to use AI to help yourself become a better writer, but I think you have to have the right attitude, the right relationship to AI to make that work. And that's where my second rule of thumb comes in. When you use AI, keep reminding yourself that you're playing tennis with a wall, and you can be better than the wall. Okay, I'm referencing a joke here by the great American comedian Mitch Hedberg. If you've never heard of Mitch Hedberg, please do yourself a favor, look him up, watch some videos of him performing. He was one of the funniest people ever. And here's one of his jokes. "The thing that's depressing about tennis is that no matter how good I get, I'll never be as good as a wall." So I'm using this as a metaphor. If we replace tennis with writing and the wall with AI, then it becomes, "The thing that's depressing about writing is that no matter how good I get, I'll never be as good as AI." And I think this, unfortunately, is the attitude that many people have who, like I said, maybe don't have that much experience writing, or they only have had bad experiences writing. Or maybe they don't think their English is that good, but they're required to write in English. There are a few reasons why I think this joke works as a good metaphor for writing with AI. First of all, if you think about it for more than a few seconds, you realize that even though the joke sort of feels true, that we can't play tennis as well as a wall, that's only because the wall can do one thing that even the greatest tennis players can't do 100% of the time. And that is the wall always, no matter what, returns the ball when you hit the ball to it. But of course, this one thing, even though it is an important part of the game, it's not the only thing that's going to make you a great tennis player. If you're actually playing a game of tennis, just reliably returning the ball in predictable ways, like a wall, is not going to win you the game. There's one extremely important thing that you can do and that you have to do to win the game, which the wall can't do. And that is, you have to change the way you hit the ball to suit different situations. You can aim it in surprising directions, you can return it at different speeds, etc. And in fact, you have to make these changes if you want to win the game, if you're playing a real game of tennis with another human being. So, in fact, you can be as good and, in fact, much better than a wall at playing tennis, because tennis is a game played between 2 or 4 human beings. And the same is true with writing, at least the kind of writing that you're asked to do at a university. Academic writing is a way of communicating between human beings, and whoever or whatever produces it, even if it's a machine, it's ultimately meant for other human beings to read. And it's more likely that another human being will read it and enjoy it if it shows the kind of moves, the kind of surprising adjustments that an actual human would make. So when you use AI, remember that it's just a wall that you are sort of bouncing language off of. And you need to respond with your own actions, your own ideas, your own language. And that's a good tip for using AI for writing. For everything that you ask it to produce, try to produce something equivalent or even better yourself. Hit the ball back and forth a few times with it. For example, if you ask it to brainstorm some argument points for you, then for every point that it gives you, try to add 1 or better yet 2 points of your own. Another tip, don't ask it to work with huge chunks of language all at once, like your whole paper. Instead, go bit by bit, ball by ball, return by return, sentence by sentence. Ask it to correct 1 sentence for you, maybe, and then look at what it did. Try to see what it did, how it changed the sentence, and then try to do the same thing with your next sentence without the AI. And then once you've tried it yourself, try again with the AI. Compare what you did and what the AI did, and learn from that. Change your moves for the next time. Don't accept the first thing that it gives you. Hit back at it with some changes. Try to surprise the AI, or imagine that you're surprising the AI. And then if you do that, you're more likely to surprise yourself with what you produce. But no matter what you do, keep telling yourself, I can be better than the wall. Because you can. But don't take my word for it. If you want some more specific tips about how to become a better writer, and if you want to see for yourself that academic writing can be enjoyable, interesting, meaningful, then come take a writing class with us at the Language Center. Or if you're working on a piece of writing in English and would like some feedback, some advice, make a consultation with me at the Writing Lab. So I'll see you there. And in the meantime, check out some Mitch Hedberg videos.